Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. And what you're looking at on your screen there is some interesting news. This was posted by Dan Proctor of Goblinoid Games. I'm going to read what he posted. I'm going to read the announcement on the page in front of you. When I suspended Goblinoid Games' social media presence 2 months ago, it was because I gave myself an ultimatum. I would write a substantial, totally new product by the first of the year and be well on my way to editing a new edition of Labyrinth Lord if I didn't succeed in these challenges. I had decided I would close up shop for good. I am near completion of a new solo adventure, currently sitting at around 24,000 words. In retrospect, maybe I shouldn't have been so hard on myself. I've suffered from moderate to severe anxiety for about the last 7 years, amplified by a series of large life changes. The kind of life changes you check the boxes for in a form to determine how much stress you have in your life. At any given time during those years, I would probably have three or four big ones happening at once. As a result, all of my hobbies essentially came to a halt. It was hard enough to get by day to day, much less write creative content and keep up with the demands of my publishing business. Some of you know I'm a professor, and just performing those duties was challenging enough. And of course, COVID. But I'm happy to say that at this point, I'm in a much better place than I've been in years. I've come to terms with many things in my life, and I'm finally in a position to pick up where I left off. I know the industry has changed, and I know many of my supporters have been disappointed with my lack of support for my game lines, Labyrinth Lord especially. I've also let down my publishing partners, but I'm here to tell you today that all that is coming to an end. I'm still a one person indie publisher, but in addition to my own efforts, I'll be reaching out to others for partnerships moving forward. I'm very excited for what the future holds, and I hope some of you will join me on this new journey. To read a little bit more about what I have in mind, please visit my website. It's under construction, but it has some information there for what's next for Labyrinth Lord. Here's to the future, Dan. And if you go to goblinoidgames.com, and I will put that in the show notes, it'll take you to the page that you see on the screen. Labyrinth Lord, second edition, coming Q1 2023. Times have changed, and so is Labyrinth Lord. First released in 2007, Labyrinth Lord is a premier basic expert compatible fantasy role playing game. Back then, ritual clones were a new concept, exemplified by Matt Finch's and Stuart Marshall's work on the first edition compatible game, Osric. We were treading new waters and pushing the limits of the open game license and available system reference documents from Wizards of the Coast. The rule of thumb at the time was to err on the side of caution to avoid publishing content that might be considered art rather than system. Fast forward 15 years later, and the slew of additional games following the same path, but in a less cautious manner, has proven that some of the design choices made earlier are not necessary in the current state of the industry. Coupled with being essentially out of the game publishing market for several years, it's clear that the time has come for Goblinoid Games to publish a new edition of the ever popular Labyrinth Lord game. Game presentation will be updated to account for the new standards gamers expect. Things like experience tables, level rank titles, and other smaller changes originally made to avoid the perception of reproducing art will all be brought to closer compatibility with the original basic expert rules. In addition, much of the rules presentation will be streamlined for easier reference at the table. This will be done while accounting for non errata. What does the future hold? Labyrinth Lord Second Edition is set for release in Q1 of 2023. Its release will be concurrent with a new solo adventure. The writing stage is currently almost finished. The products will be released directly to the public, not via any fundraising effort ahead of time. Later, there will be a second edition of the Advanced Edition companion, and If the public desires it, these books will be compiled to create a second edition of Advanced Labyrinth Lord. All editions will remain in print, but clearly labeled with our vendors as to which books are first or second edition. Goblinoid Games will continue to publish additional adventures and other works regularly going forward. I'm excited for this relaunch, and I hope many of you join me on this new adventure. Let's make the next 15 years of Labyrinth Lord even more groundbreaking than its early years. I'm excited. Labyrinth Lord is one of the first OSR games that I found. It was great, right? You can get the free no art version and PDF, and it was Basic Expert. It was a thing of beauty, and I've missed seeing it supported over the last couple of years. I'm not saying that Old School Essentials is not great, but there's something special about Labyrinth Lord. So I'm glad to see it's coming back. I will support Dan. He's not reached out to me, folks. This announcement was something that was appeared in my PM box from a member of his Facebook community, and I thought, you know what, this is timely. Let me get the announcement out there. Dan deserves the support. I'd like to see what is coming, and I find myself interested in solo adventures now. So I find this very interesting that Dan has a solo in the works, and I don't know if you all caught it too. It's not going to be crowdfunded. Holy shit! That's something spot on and interesting, especially in today's market. I wish him luck, and I'll do what I can to assist, folks. If you are catching this on Wednesday night, I'm recording this about an hour and a half before Talking Crit. Bad Mike and I have two special guests, not one, but two. Skeeter Green, Levi Combs. Twice the craziness, twice the excitement, twice the zany. I don't know if we can contain it, but we will try. What else? Oh, yeah. We're still in the world of the endemic because the pandemic is here and is staying. So it's an endemic. Make your choices, make your decisions accordingly. Right? Be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. Remember, 8 p.m. Wednesday nights, we always have Talk and Crit. Live streams also 8 p.m. on Fridays and 8 p.m. on Saturday. Rich and I do Gamers Health. Look forward to seeing you there. All right, folks. Laters.